There's one of our little bunnies. Okay, it is Sunday evening, and I went and Googled black spots on my tomato plant, and it said that it had a fungus called septoria. So it said to remove the infected leaves. You can also spray it with a fungicide. I went ahead and removed the leaves that had all the black spots on it, and then I went and made my own trusty little squiggly do to hold this up because these stems were very weak. So we're going to give that a try and let it go before we just toss and start over. I'm going to give the little guy a chance and see what it does over the next week. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick midweek update here. I still like to wait till Saturday so I can get more growth on all my plants before I give you an update. But my pepper started to look like something sort of started to get into it there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off the plant so that I can use it before it's totally wasted. So there we go. Look at that, my first harvest in week 4. That's a cute little green pepper, except for the yucky spot. But we'll definitely use that so it doesn't go to waste. So I am almost out of moringa tea, which means I need to harvest. And on one of my last videos, I talked about harvesting the trees over by the pool next time. But my husband wants me to take care of this little thing here. This was another one that kind of got cut off, and then it came up in these 3 separate trees, and I kind of tried to braid them together to get them to stand up, but they make it kind of hard to cut the lawn and things like that with it hanging down. So I'm going to harvest this tree and get it out of here because I have secret designs on this place. I would love to have this little area here as my own little garden. So we may work on that. Stay tuned. But for now, I'm going to harvest this tree. So most of the time when I harvest, and please keep in mind that I am not an expert on anything. I am a complete novice at most of this stuff. So in starting the garden, you're really going to be kind of learning along with me. But this is what works for me, and I do drink moringa tea every morning, so I do have to have quite a bit of it. And I'm able to get enough off of my trees to do that. So if I wasn't going to take this whole tree down, what I would always do is I come and I look for the greenest of the leaves. And I actually snap them off right at the base there. And I take them like this so that they're in a fan. And that's how I collect them. Now, because I'm going to try to get rid of this whole tree, I'm just going to go ahead and empty everything that's on this tree. But I don't tend to, see, as they start to get yellow, I don't tend to take those for the tea. And here's one that's gotten yellow and where the leaves have already started to fall off. Those are not ones that I usually use for my teas. So, yeah, so I'm going to do that. See the green on the bottom of these? We're gonna go stick these 4 right in the bucket where we have the other trees growing, and we're gonna watch these grow into little trees. Okay, well, I did my job. So we'll see how this gets taken out. I tell you right now, if these get cut off, they're gonna do just like what you saw the other moringa trees do in my other video, where they just sprout back up from the bottom. So, but I did my job, so let's go look and see what I did. Right, so I don't even really need to tie them. They kind of just twisted themselves around each other. And I just stuck the bases in the dirt. Didn't do anything else. And yeah, all where you see all these little spots where I peeled those off, new ones will grow like that. So it should, just like we see this one kind of taking off all the way up, this one should too. And I'm going to keep these short, so I don't know if it's like a bonsai kind of thing, but I won't let this get any taller. Like this one, I don't know that it'll sprout again, but all these are going to keep growing up and up, so I'll probably just keep snapping these top ones off so that it stays this height, and so that I just get a really nice full tree that I can pick from, or bush, wherever you want to put it. Yeah. So now we're going to move on and take a look at what I do with the leaves. Let's go. So one of the things that I do is once you rinse moringa, it gets very wet and it takes forever to dry. So I really don't rinse my moringa before I dry it. Sometimes I try to come out after it's rained really hard, or like in the morning when the dew is all on there before the bugs have a chance to start crawling around, or the spiders. And then I just kind of, you saw how I shook them out real well as I picked them off, and I keep an eye out for little guys. And then I kind of just lay them on the car here for a few minutes just to make sure that there isn't really any bugs left while I go inside and prep the area on my dining room table where I will be drying these for the next 4 days. Okay, so that's all lied out, and I'll leave that there for a day or so, and then I'll probably come through and flip some of it. And then once it's dry enough, I just shuck the leaves right off, and we'll go from there. Okay, well, it is Saturday afternoon, so let's get an update on what we've done this week. First, let's address the black fungus that we had on the tomato plant. So I have been spraying it now for 2 days. Today will be the 3rd day, and it looks like it's mostly gone here, but it does say to do it for 7 to 14 days, so I'm going to do it for at least 7 days. This one here is looking much better. I trimmed it up yesterday, but it had spread to the big plant and had quite a bit of it on here. So yeah, so we're taking care of that. But look how tall, it's as tall as me now. As tall as me. So we had fun. We harvested our pepper and ate that, and the broccoli is doing really well, and so is the cauliflower. It's doing really well, and the pepper plant now has got lots of tiny new peppers coming out all over it, so that's exciting. And Mr. Eggplant here is still strong and surviving tall, but it is getting eaten by something. But I have also been spraying it with that same spray because it says it's an insecticide also. And it doesn't look like anything ate on it last night, so I'll spray it again tonight, and hopefully that got rid of it. So what we have in here was the banana peppers seeds that I had planted a while back. I said I didn't know if they were going to grow or not because they were a couple years old. I do have a lot of things that I think are weeds in here, but I do believe that this little guy here is a banana pepper. And I think there was one over here. Oh, here it is, here. There. So we're going to keep an eye on those guys. Even if they're little only childs, we're going to nurture them up. Because I do love my banana peppers. And so what I planted in here also was, I think on Tuesday. I planted these on Tuesday, and you can see how they've already sprouted up. We have, mostly this whole thing is kale. I did put a little mesclun lettuce in there also, just a little bit to give a variety, but most of it's kale. These are some cabbage plants that I picked up today. There's 6 of them. Some are bigger than the others, and so I just planted those. So that's why they look a little rough, because I just planted them, so they're going to need a day or two to stand up. And that leaves this pot which I have a packet of carrots, which I will probably plant tomorrow. So we will see what those look like next Saturday. All right, so Mickey Mouse here is growing really well. I need to come out and trim him, but I haven't had a chance. But I wanted to take a look and see how the dill is going a week later. Got lots of tiny plants in there, so I know some of them will make it. So I wanted to take a moment just to remind you guys that I am just learning, and so following along with me, it's going to be learning along with me. So when I come up across something that isn't working, like the Septora, and I am able to maybe help you out as you're learning, that would be great. I also wanted to take a moment to shout out to a friend, Chef and More, who has a great channel. She does a lot of great recipes, but she's also starting a container gardening video series channel. Actually, she's got a whole other channel for it, and it's called Container Crops. I'll go ahead and put a link down below. So she'll be learning along too, so it'll be a lot of fun. She's a very nice area, and her containers are a lot prettier than mine. But yeah, so we're all learning together. It's going to be a lot of fun. So go on over and give her a shout out. Tell her I sent you. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye.